Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into one of the biggest shakeups happening in any profession right now, how artificial intelligence is completely transforming the world of accounting. So what does this AI revolution really mean for a profession that's built on precision, on trust? Well, let's find out.
Okay, let's start with a stereotype we all kind of know. For decades, the accountant was seen as, the person buried in spreadsheets, totally focused on what's already happened. But that whole perception, it's about to become ancient history.
And that brings us to Section 1, The Accountant's New Dawn. We are right in the middle of a fundamental catalyst for change in this profession.
So let's get into it. Section 2, an AI-powered toolkit. What are these new superpowers that this technology is unlocking?
To really get this shift, you've got to know there are two main flavors of AI in the mix. First, you have analytical AI. It's great at pattern recognition, looking at old data to find trends. But the real game changer here is generative AI. It's all about pattern creation. It can generate brand new content, like a report or even code from just a simple prompt.
For years, AI was kind of locked away, Only tech specialists could really use it. The biggest reason this revolution is happening now is what people are calling the democratization of AI. Suddenly, with user-friendly tools like ChatGPT, this incredible power is in the hands of every single accountant.
And this newfound access, it unlocks a whole new set of professional superpowers. Sure, it starts with automating the boring stuff, like processing invoices, but it scales up really fast. We're talking about accountants being able to analyze market trends in real time, streamline massive audits, review thousands of contracts for hidden risks, and even spot fraud with, frankly, superhuman speed.
And look, this is not just about a few fancy new tools. As one expert put it, generative AI is like a new operating system for business. Just think about that. It's a fundamental change that's going to create this massive domino effect across finance, operations, the entire supply chain.
But you know how it goes. With all that power comes some pretty big risks. And that brings us to Section 3, Promise versus Peril. It's a huge balancing act. The promise is just undeniable. I mean, when you see a major firm like PwC planning to invest $1 billion in this tech over the next 3 years, you know this is a massive bet. They see its potential to drive productivity and create real value. And believe me, they are not alone.
So with all that money pouring in, what's standing in the way of this AI-powered utopia? Well, it turns out the risks are just as big as the rewards.
And here's the list. It is long and it is pretty complicated. You've got AI models that can confidently hallucinate, which means they just make stuff up. There's the huge risk of these models inheriting all sorts of societal biases from their training data. And of course, massive concerns about data privacy when you're uploading confidential client info. Then you get to the really thorny questions, like who's actually on the hook when an AI makes a critical mistake?
Let's just zoom in on that hallucination idea for a second. This is when an AI gives you an answer that sounds super plausible, but it's just flat out wrong. For example, an AI might tell you with 100% confidence that the balanced scorecard was created by Robert Anthony, when it was actually Robert Kaplan. In a profession that is built on accuracy, that is a catastrophic failure.
This whole accountability mess leads to a really chilling concept, the human ethical crumple zone. Just like the front of a car that's designed to crumple in a crash, this is the person who gets blamed when an AI fails. A human scapegoat designed to protect the system and the company. And all of this forces a really crucial realization. As one expert put it, adopting AI isn't just about managing risk anymore. This is fundamentally an ethical issue. It challenges the very core principles of the profession, and it demands a whole new level of thinking from every single accountant.
So, moving on to our final section, the accountant of tomorrow. Given this huge promise, but also this incredible peril, what is the new identity of the accountant going to be?
Well, the future isn't about replacing the old skills. It's about augmenting them. Timeless abilities like professional judgment and skepticism are more important than ever. But now, they have to be combined with a whole new set of competencies. Things like AI literacy, knowing how to write a good prompt, and most importantly, the skill of critically evaluating whatever the AI spits out.
Here's a great way to think about AI.
See it as a very, very clever research assistant. It's brilliant, it's incredibly fast, it can synthesize massive amounts of info. But, and this is a big but, it's also inexperienced, and it can and will make mistakes.
And that brings us to what is probably the single most important principle in all of this: keeping the human in the loop. It is absolutely crucial. AI has to be a supplement, not a replacement. The whole point is to use the machine's incredible power, but always have the human providing that irreplaceable judgment, skepticism, and ethical oversight.
So for any firms listening to this and wondering, okay, where do we even start? The advice from experts is pretty clear and practical. Don't try to boil the ocean. Start small. Find some easy, high-impact, quick wins. Make sure you actually understand the business case before you automate something. And please, develop clear policies to protect your data. But above all, you have to commit to a culture of continuous learning.
And when you do all that, this revolution completely changes what an accountant is selling. In the past, clients paid for human hours spent looking backwards. In the future, they're going to pay for strategic, forward-looking advice that's powered by AI efficiency but amplified by human wisdom. Which leaves us with this final, critical question. Is AI an assistant, or is it a replacement? The thing is, the answer isn't set in stone yet. It's going to be defined by how professionals, and not just accountants, choose to adapt, how they weave these tools into their work, and how they redefine their own value in a world where human and artificial intelligence have to work side by side. Thanks for joining us for The Explainer.